So it was Cabaret first.
Oh, I haven't even talked about Cabaret.
Yeah, so let's back up a little bit because this Cabaret's happening concurrently with the other side.
And 1270 and all that. I even tried out at Cabaret one time.
And Conrad played at Cabaret, is that right?
Conrad played a couple of nights there, but the main disc jockey that I knew from there was Jeff Tilton and Jimmy Fournier.
Right, okay.
They were the main ones. And I tried out one day. I really wasn't ready. But I went and did my little Rocky Baby set and, and it was fun and everything, but I needed more experience.
When you try out, who are you playing for the other DJs?
Eddie Catino, Jeff Tilton, and Jimmy Fournier just standing there. Jimmy Fournier wanted me to get the job because I think he was the head disc jockey, I believe, because he played on Saturday and Friday.
And you would just play a short set for them?
Yeah, and I just did a little set, and Jimmy thought I was fabulous, but Jeff, I think about it now, I think Jeff might have been a little intimidated and saw that I had some talent and didn't want me to play there. That's
so
what
you
I'm
think
thinking.
that really happened?
Yeah, it happened a lot back then because I was young and I was black, you know what I mean? And because that's what Michael Evers even said. He said, think about it, Tony, you got to go tell this story. He said, because you were young, you were black, you had talent. And a lot of people were jeopardized by that. Because the racial tension really was such still then.
It was the height when the busing crisis was still going on, right?
Yeah, it was the height of all that. So.
Right. So the crowd, were the clubs that you were going to, did you notice a certain amount of segregation in the crowd you were going to? Where's the crowd?
Yeah, it wasn't like the clubs I was going to. I mean, there weren't many, and even in the gay scene, there wasn't many black people out in the gay scene.
Even though the music had R&B roots.
Oh yeah,
even though
it wasn't many black people.
No,
it was like in the 1270 upstairs. It was like the corner with the group of blacks and they were the ones that were the outsiders. I mean, I hung with everybody else, so I knew everybody. But in my group, there was only like three or four, let's say. Johnny Ward, George Best, myself, Ozzie Hunter, and that's about it. 5. Kevin Singleton, 5. And we knew we got in everywhere.
Did you see a change over time and more integration?
As 1975 and 76 started to go along. Because the black ones used to go to New York a lot and go to Better Days and stuff. So they had to have a place to go to in Boston because, they had to. And the 1270 really was it. They didn't go to Styx too much. Yeah. They went to the other side, but that was more of the drag queen crowd, let's say.
And hustlers.
And all that. So it grew after that. So they would give black queens attitude and, So.
But there really weren't a lot of black DJs back then.
No, I was the only one, honey.
When do you think that changed about? When do you remember the next prominent one?
There was a kid named Al Porter, a guy named Al Porter, who was part of the New England DJ Association. He was the original member of the Boston Record Pool. I don't remember which number. Right. But, the record pool came about. He was one, but as far as gay distract, and he was very closeted, Al Porter. You know what I mean? Back then, he was gay, but he was very closeted. Whereas me, honey, you know, I'm gay as soon as you see me.
Yeah. But now let me ask you this then about because I want to think about this culturally a little bit too. The music that you liked, did you find yourself playing music that was considered they called things like pretty white boy music versus the stuff that was more like...
No, see, I liked all that, the gay la-la foolishness, honey. I loved all that because I knew all the other stuff because naturally. Right. So when I was hearing all this pretty stuff and female, vocals and stuff like that, and I knew that, when I came out and I finally saw, the other side and got into all that, I was like, I found my people, I found my calling. So I went head on first into all that. I love all that pretty high energy and as well as the jungle and the drum and the tribal and the house. But I love, give me some high energy any old day. I love that groove, you know what I mean?
So you find yourself playing a set was it really all just disco then, though, right?
Yeah.
That's really what it was back then. It was like the height of disco.
Right, and I would play funky stuff like James Brown, Doing It to Death, even for the gay guys, the gay kids like that stuff too.
Right.
But at the 12 and Styx, it was more, not so much of that. But sometimes they throw that in, all depending on what kind of night it was.
Right.
But Jimmy Stewart certainly played that sort of stuff too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and that was that.
So you tried out a Cabaret, you didn't get the job.
No.
Did you hang out there for a while?
Oh yeah, all the time. We used to go every weekend. And one time I went there, and I was tripping on acid, and we were in the Rainbow Room, which was spit. They turned it in. Yeah. That room, it was Cabaret, was the big room, and After Dark was the showroom. And I'm standing against the wall, and I'm smoking a joint, and because they didn't bother you back then. And I look over, and it's David Bowie standing right next to me, with Angela Bowie and Mick Jagger, just like standing there watching the Brandy Alexander show. You know, I just said, "Hi, how you guys doing tonight?" And he goes, "Terrific." Like, you know what I mean? I just went and I got a drink and, you know, no, I wasn't like, "Oh, can I have your autograph?" and all that foolishness. It was like, you know, we were just out.
Yeah.
You know, it was
Did you play any Bowie at any of these events?
Yeah, Fame and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Absolutely. The one off that album, that Young Americans album, it was first a song done by Luther called "It's Funky Music Show Enough Is a Part of Me." And it's out on Atlantic on 12-inch. Not many people know that record. If they know it, they don't have it.
Wait,
but Funky Music Show Enough a Part of Me.
Yeah.
And that's where that song Fascination is from.
Yeah.
Because Luther wrote that song. I don't think he gets credit for it. But David Bowie changed the words. And a lot of people don't know that, I don't think.
Yeah.
You know, but that certainly came out before David Bowie did that Young American album. I have that. You know, I don't have much vinyl left, but I think I still have that one.
Yeah.
And it's a good song, and it's really the same, really.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, dance music really is just dance music.
It doesn't, like, by the time I started at Lansdowne Street, I didn't care. Like, if it's rocky with a dance vein, I would play that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, one of my first 12 inches when the record pool first opened was I heard it through the grapevine. I don't know how I got it. I must have got on somebody's record list, you know, when it first opened, because I was a charter member. And I remember the first record getting in the mail, not in the pool, was I Heard It Through the Grapevine by Creedence Clearwater Revival on the 12-inch.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first record I got in the mail. And that in Over and Over, Down, Down, Down by Sylvester on 12-inch. Those are the first two records I got in the mail. And then they just started coming in after that. And they used to have record companies all over Boston. You know?
Right, sure. I know you guys they said they would go there sometimes.
Yeah, A&M was right here at the corner of Dartmouth, right here, right on the corner. Polydor MGM was in the Park Square building. What was the other one? There was the other one up near Warner Brothers had a little office right up near on Boylston Street, but me and Conrad used to drive out to Woburn.
Yes, I heard Woburn was the place.
Yeah, we used to go out there. One time I went, I won't. Shall I tell that story?
Did you get in trouble?
No, it gets me in trouble. You know, I was young and stupid and high on. You know what I mean?
Well, tell the story.
Well, I was high, and Conrad goes, "Mary, don't you know?" I was nodding and all that. You know, it was the 70s. You did everything that came down the pipe.
Uh-huh.
So. But I didn't embarrass Conrad. He said, "You're waiting in the car the next." But we would go, and they would give us all. This is even before Lansdowne Street, because just before I started, between the Land of Oz and Lansdowne Street, I was hanging with Con. We were hanging together every day, like we would see everybody every single day, like because when you went out, you went to this club, went to that club, see what they were playing. You just went all around. And by then, I was in the inner circle by that time.
So you're amassing a record collection. You've been amassing a record collection for a while.
Yeah.
From various sources.
Yeah.
Record pools, record stores?
Just the record pool and the record stores.
Yeah, what record stores? Like Skippy White's?
Skippy White's was the main one. Strawberries had come about. But Everett Music, that was before all of them. Everett Music is where everybody used to go.
Yeah.
But you know what? Even before I started playing records, like just before I came out, my mother would send me on every weekend to get 10 45s and 2 albums. And she would pick out the ones that she wanted. She would get the list, the Billboard chart list, or wherever the hell she got it from. And she'd pick out 5 or 6 that she wanted, and I got to pick out the rest. And so I would, just before I came out, I went to Skippy White's. I didn't even know who they were, and it was Conrad, Danae, Val, Jimmy Stewart, Jimmy Fournier. And they were in there, and I'm like, I seen them, like, and I knew they were fags. I didn't really know any fags at the, really, you know what I mean? And they were buying all this music, like, and I said, I know that, they were with Candy State and stuff, like, and I was going, I never heard that by her, like, my mother was buying that old slow, like, Kill My Dog, Candy, Yeah. And and then I was like, wow. And then I bought, something came up, I'll Bake Me a Man, and they had a copy by Barbara Acklin. I knew Barbara Acklin from, the other groove from when I was growing up.
Right.
And I remember that was the first disco record I bought at Skippy White's. And so that's where I met them, and that's where I knew I didn't even know them there. I didn't know them at the time. That's why I first encountered them.
Right.
And after I saw them like 3 weeks in a row, I was going there. And then when I came out, I went to the other side. And then when I went to the 1270 and saw Jimmy playing downstairs, I said, "Oh, that's the guy." I put it all together that those were the people. So I wanted to do it. Like, you know what I mean? I made up my mind that I wanted to do it.
Well, you don't strike me as being very shy, so you...
No, I went right in the booth, honey. What's going on? You know me, honey. I don't and you know, I liked everybody. Everyone liked me. Let's put it that way. Everybody. I mean, I wasn't supposed to be getting into clubs at that time, but I carried myself well, and you know, I wasn't a troublemaker, and I was with the right people, so it wasn't a problem.
Right. So Lansdowne Street's your next big gig after Oz.
Yeah, Oz was like my learning ground, but Lansdowne was my first big job. I had just turned 18, I guess it was, 1976. I was about to turn 19, actually. I just turned 18. I started, they opened in 75, September, and Dane I worked, he was flawless there in the beginning, him and a kid named Mike Capello. But anyway, I was going, then Dane I hurt his finger, but all this time I was working at the Land of Oz still, and on my nights off going to Lansdowne Street. And that was my first big job.
So Dana had this accident, for people who haven't seen the other videos.
Okay,
Dana had an accident getting up into the booth, right? So
no,
moving the
grates. I used to put the grates up to lock the DJ booth up, and he was inebriated, and he climbed on the cigarette machine, and he had the grates on his hand, and he fell, and it like
hurt his fingers really badly.
You had to have them like re-sewn and the whole foolishness.
Yeah, so he was out of commission for a while.
He was out of commission, and Conrad worked like. I guess Conrad was buying his house, and his parents had sent him money for the down payment, and he wanted to, you know, pay it off as soon as possible. And so he had worked like 3 months in a row. You know, this is after Dana hurt his finger, so Conrad had enough. He goes, look, and I was going there every night, and I had met John Addison, and you know, I was just hanging out. Conrad would let me do a little mix set every now and again, and he'd go walk around the club. So I was gaining experience. And then one night, Conrad called me, he said, I'm not going in tonight. So I went in and I played and I got the job.
And this was on a Friday, Saturday?
No, like on a Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Yeah. And
so the places were pretty crowded, like almost every night.
Every night. Monday night was like, it was better than a Saturday on Monday night at Lansdowne Street. It was Monday night dollar night. It was incredible. Absolutely. It was incredible.
Now, when does Wendy Hunt start doing Sundays? Is that a little later? That's later.
Yeah, she started at Boston.
Okay, so we've got a few years to go.
Oh yeah.
To that. Okay.
Yeah.
And so you're there for how long? Are you there? Like, so you that night goes really well for you that you step in.
Yeah, but then I step in, and then John said, "Well, you got the job. You're Conrad's alternate DJ." He said at the end of the night when I went to get paid. There's a story that he used to put the moves on everybody, and everybody thought I was like gnawing on his nub for the job. I would go, "How dare you?" You know, but I just can't imagine, like, you know, I wasn't John's type. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now he turned me on to boys. One time he bought a boy from New York. This fucking beauty, a blonde beauty with overalls from Denver, Colorado. You know, not to get off the story, but you got to hear this.
Go right ahead.
And I'm playing records one night. This is after I was working there, and he introduced me to this boy, and the boy was high on heroin. He was a beauty though. And John goes, I thought you'd like him. I wasn't going out with Michael Evans there, not yet. And John, he put him in the booth, and the boy was like, you know, all cute, you know, and I was rubbing on his birdie and all that, and, you know. And so, at the end of the night, when I went and got paid, John said, "Oh, let me tell you before I go." He said he's wanted in 3 states for murder, and he was. It was rough trade, but I had a ball though.
Yeah, that's the roughest though.
Oh, but he was lovely. He didn't look like that, but he was a beauty. You should have seen this. He was. Like he was from the farms of Iowa, honey. He was a beauty. I had an apartment at 829 Beacon Street with Carol's second store there, right on that same side.
Yeah.
That first building, that's where I lived when I got the job there. So I just had to tell that story.
Wait, Carol's second store?
Didn't she have a store there over there after the store closed here?
Oh, the man over by, yes.
Over on Beacon Street. She had that store there for a while.
I was mixed up.
I didn't go to that store, actually.
Okay.
But I used to live there on Beacon Street when I got that. Yeah, that's when I got the job there, when I lived there.
Yeah.
So and it was a lot of fun.
So you were there how many nights a week?
In the beginning, just, let me see. Conrad worked Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I worked Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday in the beginning. But then Conrad had worked all that time. So in Conrad, he would just not feel like playing. And he would just say, go in and play tonight. He would call me in the afternoon. And if he wasn't, you know,
What do you think about Conrad's approach to DJing, where he didn't? He strikes me as somebody who obviously didn't mind speaking his mind to club managers and owners. And
Oh no,
what have you.
well, you know Cha-Cha, honey. She's a princess, Miss Cha-Cha.
So-
I mean, I have to give it to Conrad. She's the one that gave me my stuff for sure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She was a big instrumental. She
Yeah.
was a big part of me playing records.
So even though he took it seriously, there were times when he wouldn't put up with certain things, or he got tired of certain things.
She was a prima donna, honey. That's all. I mean, I love you, Conrad, but you know it's the truth, my dear. You know Conrad, honey. She was. Anybody would tell you, she would say, "You have to tell them." Like, and that was Conrad.
Yeah.
She was like a baby, honey. If she didn't get her way, she would let you know.
Yeah.
You know, but.
So you would play 3 nights in a row.
Pretty
Good crowds all 3 nights. Tuesday, Wednesday.
It was crowded every night.
And you never found, you were never bored.
Never bored, bro. I never went. I worked there from 76 until the beginning of 79. I was never bored one. I never went in and regretted going in. I couldn't wait to get to work every single night.
And how'd you keep it fresh for yourself every night?
I just went out and bought records all the time. Looney Tunes and those places that opened by then, and I just went. And plus, I was getting things in. I was a Billboard reporter at that time from the pool. I was getting everything in the pool because I was a charter member of the Boston Record Pool. I was number 7. So when I worked and when I got the job there, I was getting automatically. Back then, you didn't call them. They did it by the list the feedback list.
The higher the number you were up to, the more records you got. If there were only 10 copies of something.
Right, we got it. And I knew everybody. John LeWong was number 1, Jimmy Stewart was number 2, Joe Carvella was number 3, Danae was number 4, Jimmy Fournier was number 5, Conrad was number 5, Jimmy Fournier was number 6, I was number 7. So that's how it went. And then it went. It was only maybe 50 members at that time.
Yeah.
So I got everything. And then automatically you get stuff in the mail. You get put on every month's mailing list.
So because I'm a shameless attempt to get more music.
How am I doing over there?